Hi everyone. I just turned on my lab environment, and for whatever reason, when I log into my storefront server, it says there are no apps or desktops available to you at this time. So I'm trying to troubleshoot this problem. So let me log into Citrix storefront console. It was working absolutely fine yesterday, but right now, for whatever reason, I see this message. And even I noticed that the machine is in unregistered state, and I'm trying to refresh, but it is taking a lot of time. So I'll just wait and see how it goes. I will quickly have a look at the configuration once. It looks okay. I'll click on manage delivery controller because this storefront is integrated with delivery controller. Yeah, it's the right information. There is nothing wrong. Okay, looks okay. It's listening on port 80 HTTP traffic. The configuration looks okay. Let me just log off once and see how it goes. Let me log off and let me relog in and see how it goes in the meanwhile. All right, I don't see the resources. Now I understand what is happening. All of a sudden I see this message. It says that cannot communicate with the database. Check that the database is running and that it is not being upgraded. Make sure you have permissions to access the database. That could be the reason why I'm not able to see the resources. So let me log into my SQL server. Okay, let me refresh the services. Okay, SQL server agent seems to be down. Let me try to start. Okay, it is in started state now. And let us also check the status of SQL server. Let me type. Okay, SQL server seems to be in running state. All right, but I've just started SQL Server agent. Now let me go back to Citrix storefront. Let me log off and try to log in and see how it goes. I just turned on all the machines in my lab environment and I face this problem. Yesterday it was working fine, so every day is an interesting day for us to troubleshoot these kind of issues. So let me click apps. Yes, now I could see the applications. Okay, let me try to launch Notepad application and see how it goes. All right, it's trying to launch. It should launch in a minute or in a few seconds. It is not, it is still not up on the screen. I think it is coming up slowly. Yes, it came up finally. All right, the app is launched successfully. Let me minimize this. Let's go back to Studio. It says cannot communicate with the database. So this was the error message I was seeing before. So right now the service is up. What I can do is, let me try to relaunch the console now and see how it goes. I'm going to launch Studio Console again. In the meanwhile, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to the storefront server and let me log in as a different user and see how it goes. So whenever there is an issue from the server side, it is always good if you can check with multiple user accounts. It would be really helpful. So just to cross check basically. Okay, let me type my password. All right, we logged in fine. Let me try to launch Windows Server OS VDI. Seems like it is launching fine. To sign in remotely, you need the right to sign in through remote desktop services. By default, members of the RDP users have the right. If the group you are in this doesn't have this right, or if the right has been removed from the remote desktop, you need to be granted this right manually. I'll just click OK and see how it goes. All right, it is asking for the credentials. I'll type my password again and see how it goes. Okay, it says the username or password is incorrect. Let me see what is actually happening here. Okay, let me go back to Studio Console once. All right, it's still not up. It is throwing some error message. It says a working configuration logging service could not be found. Very strange. Let me try to connect and see how it goes now. So that's the reason why we were not able to log in to the virtual desktop. All right, it looks okay. Oh, it fails. It says a working configuration login service could not be found. Okay, let's go back to services once again. It says configuration logging service could not be found, right? Let's go to Citrix configuration login service and see the status of the service. Okay, so Citrix configuration logging service. So this is Citrix configuration logging service. So it was throwing the error message saying that it could not be found, but it is available and it is in running state. So in this scenario, I don't know why it is not recognizing this particular service. Let's try to restart the service and see how it goes. All right, seems like it is started and it is in running state. We have just restarted it. Now what we can do is let's go back to Studio Console and try to connect once again and see how it goes this time. Okay, assessing service configurations, assessing configuration files. Okay, loading site information. It seems like it is up now, but let us wait until it comes up on the screen. Perfect. It looks quite better now. Now what we can do is we can go back to the storefront server and try to launch the application again. Okay, let me launch and see how it goes this time. It is taking a while. Okay, it's trying to launch. I hope it launches this time. Okay, I still get the same error message. To sign in remotely, you need the right to sign in through remote desktop services. By default, members of the remote desktop users group have this right. If the group you are in doesn't have this right, or if the right has been removed from the remote desktop users group, you need to be granted this right. Okay, let me click OK. It's not taking me for some reason. Let us do one thing. Let's go back to controller and let me edit this and see how it goes. All right, I see the users are part of the group. Now let's go back and check the remote desktop service configuration. For that, I need to connect to the VDI machine. Okay, so this is a VDI machine, and let me try to log in to this machine and see how it goes. Okay, you could log in fine. Okay, let me try to launch command prompt to find the IP address of this machine. Okay, it's 192.168.160. Okay, let me try to minimize it. I'm sorry, maximize it. It's 192.168.160.137. Okay, 192.168.160.137. Let me try to log in to this particular machine. Okay, we logged in successfully. Let me minimize this. I'm gonna check the services once. Just to make sure if everything is good. All right, everything looks okay so far. Okay, remote desktop services is up and running. Okay, let me go to computer management. It's here. And let me go to local users and groups. Click on groups. Okay, this is remote desktop users. Let me click on it. And let me add a couple of users here. Okay, click OK. And also I'm going to add another user. Check names and click OK. Just click apply and click OK. All right, we have added the users to the RDP group. Now let's minimize the screen and let's log off from this particular VDI machine. Okay, let's go back to controller once and see what is happening there. Let me refresh. Let me check the status of the VDI machine. It takes a while, so please bear with me. Okay, while this comes back, okay, it came back. All right, right now the status of the VDI machine is in registered state. So let's go to storefront and let's try to let's log off first. Remember, we have added this user to the RDP group. Let me relog in as the same user. Okay, I think I'm logging as a different user. Uh, okay, this is the right user. Okay, let me click login and see how it goes. All right, I logged in successfully. Now let's try to launch the same machine and see how it goes. I hope I will not see that error message again regarding the access to this particular machine. Perfect. We could log in fine. And we are on the desktop. In a few seconds. Yes. All right. Looks great. So the issue here is there are in this particular video there were a lot of issues. Initially, we had an issue with the database. The database was down, and then we brought the database up, and then something else went down. Something else was not responding. Yeah, configuration logging service was not responding, and we started the configuration logging service, and then we could see the applications when we logged into the storefront, and when we tried to launch the applications, it was giving an error message saying that there was no permission to log into that particular VDI machine for this particular user. So we just tried logging to the VDI machines, restarting the VDI service, I mean RDP service, I'm sorry. And we also added these two users to the RDP group, and after adding those users to the RDP group, it had made the difference. We could launch the VDI machine without any issues. Okay, let's do one thing. Let us log off from this machine. Let's log in as the third user and see how it goes. Okay, let me log in as Citrix user 1 this time and see how it goes. Alright, we could log in fine, and let's try to launch the VDI machine and see how it goes. In this video I'm doing the live troubleshooting, so it's taking a lot of time, so please bear with me. Alright, we could launch the virtual desktop without any issues. So we have done a lot of troubleshooting steps in this video to come to this point. At this point in time, everything is working fine, and the VM is also in registered state, and we could launch applications and also the virtual desktops as well. I really hope you find this information very helpful, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment. And if you like this video, kindly like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much for watching.